So the Los Angeles Chargers have a very good roster on paper, and they made the playoffs last year. But this has been a team that makes the playoffs over and over again, but they're supposed to always be the Super Bowl contending team. Let's talk about it. The Los Angeles Chargers have a top quarterback in Justin Herbert, top wide receiver core when you talk about Mike Williams and Keenan Allen when they're both healthy. But that's the problem with the Chargers team. They haven't been able to stay healthy the last couple of years. And I'm not just talking about the last 3 to 4 years. I'm talking about even years when they had Phillip Rivers and crew. They couldn't stay healthy, and they blew a lot of leads. That's why the former head coach got fired, and that's why I don't have that much faith in Brandon Staley moving forward. Brandon Staley was in part of why they blew that lead against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, don't get me wrong. It was a group effort. Joey Bosa didn't help down the stretch. The referees didn't help when he was getting held, and a lot of things didn't go their way. But it was more than that just happened. The former offensive coordinator, Joe Lombardi, he was terrible. He was not a good offensive coordinator. That's why you bring in Kellen Moore. I believe Kellen Moore will do a very good job with Justin Herbert, and he's going to show why Justin Herbert is legitimately one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. We saw the system that he had with the Dallas Cowboys. I expect for him to have the same type of impact with Justin Herbert and crew. So that's the biggest upgrade this team could have made this offseason. But I still don't have that much faith in Brandon Staley. The defense has dealt with injuries since he's been here. But the biggest thing with him is misuses of timeouts and just the broken philosophy of the defense. The reason why he got hired to become the head coach of the Los Angeles Rams is because he was a main part of why that Los Angeles Rams team a couple years ago, when they had the best defense in the league, he was a defensive signal caller. I just don't have that much faith in him as a head coach. Nice defensive coordinator at times. When we talk about just taking care of the whole group, I don't believe in him. Now, can this team go and make a playoff run? Of course they can. They just made the playoffs last year, but they have to be able to hold on to leads. And my biggest thing with this team, besides them blowing leads, is the health of the wide receivers. I love them selecting Quentin Johnson. He's a guy that kills 2 birds with 1 stone. Keenan Allen, it was talks about them letting him go because of the contract situation. But they restructured the deal. He's going to stay with the team. He's essential when he's on the field. The biggest thing with Keenan Allen, can't stay healthy. But when he is healthy, he's one of the best route runners in the league. And he's one of the best wide receivers, if not the best wide receiver on this team. Same with Mike Williams. Very good wide receiver, deals with injuries. Both of these guys, when they played, the offense took a step up for a good reason. 752 yards receiving last season for Keenan Allen for receiving touchdowns. Same with Mike Williams, 895 yards, 4 touchdowns. Quentin Johnson's going to come in and can be a replacement for Keenan Allen long term, and can also give you a lot of production with run after the catch, and he can also stretch out the field. That was the biggest thing with the Chargers for the last couple of years. They haven't been able to stretch out the field. That's the number one thing. They have a lot of guys that aren't the fastest wide receivers in the world. And not me saying these wide receivers are bad. They're just route running guys and guys that you just throw the ball up to and they get you the 50-50 ball. They need a guy that can take a safety away and get these guys into one-on-one coverage. It's too many times where I see Keenan Allen's in one-on-one coverage, the same with Mike Williams. They just hope that those wide receivers don't body the corners. But adding Quentin Johnson, you can put him in the slot, take him outside the slot. He can beat some corners deep, and that's what he did at TCU. Joshua Palmer also had a nice, huge grab last year against the Kansas City Chiefs in the Sunday night game. He had 3 touchdowns last season, 769 yards receiving. He's a nice option to have as well. So you're getting those wide receiver pieces around Justin Herbert. And when I speak about their loss against the Kansas City Chiefs, it's always 1 or 2 plays that keep this team back away from beating the Kansas City Chiefs. You go back to the Thursday night game when Justin Herbert throws that interception in the goal line. It wasn't Justin Herbert's fault. The tight end was tired. So it's an interception that goes the opposite way. And that was the biggest breaking point in the game against the Kansas City Chiefs. And then the Sunday night game, you have Derwin James matched up one-on-one with Travis Kelce. As good as Derwin James is, if you see that as the head coach, you have to put that guy in double coverage or just have some help over top. I understand Derwin James is one of the best safeties in the league, but that is not his forte. You do not want him to be one-on-one with one of, if not the best tight end, depends on who you're talking to, and Travis Kelce. So it's those little decisions right there that make me scratch my head about Brandon Staley. Hopefully he grows into being a very good head coach, but I just don't see it. But I believe the talent can put them over the top. And speaking of the defense last year, it was solid for what the coach and Brandon Staley had to deal with. A lot of injuries. Joey Bosa missed majority of the season. And that's been a big thing with him as well. Hasn't been able to stay healthy. And they're bringing in a brand new training staff. Hopefully that helps out with these guys being able to stay healthy, because they've just been dealing with injuries for years now. But if Joey Bosa can stay healthy alongside Khalil Mack, That would be awesome. Khalil Mack had 8 sacks last season, 2 forced fumbles. And we saw it in the playoff game. They were getting pressure in the first half against Trevor Lawrence. But you need both of those guys to play a full season or majority of the season together and play when it matters the most. J.C. Jackson missed a lot of training camp last year with a hurt ankle, made his season debut, and he didn't look good. And he didn't last too long with this team. He got hurt a Monday night game against the Denver Broncos. That looks like a terrible signing. Now, you have to give him more time to see how it will work out, but J.C. Jackson needs to be playing a similar role that he played with the New England Patriots. He did not even look like a #1 corner for this team with his short time he played with the Chargers. Hopefully, he can get out there, play the same press roll coverage that he did with the Patriots, and just use him differently. A lot of it was because he wasn't healthy to begin with, and he just looked confused and out of place with this defense. Hopefully, Brandon Staley can clean that up. But my speaker of the lights like Derwin James, very good, phenomenal safety to have on this team. Can play inside the box for you. Can be an over-the-top safety, but he's a major strong safety for you. I like Asante Samuel Jr. as well. He's a very good corner. You added Eric Kendricks. That's a good veteran linebacker to have alongside Kenneth Murray Jr. So they have good pieces. It's the same song and dance over and over again with the Chargers. They have good pieces. Can they stay healthy, and can the coach stay out the way? And another thing, too, if this offensive line can't stay healthy, that's the biggest thing with this team. Last year, Rashawn Slater got hurt early in the season. They need him to be there to help out Justin Herbert and stop him from getting hit. That was the biggest thing last year. When he went down, a lot of pressure came towards Justin Herbert's way. He was not comfortable in the pocket. But when Rashawn Slater was able to stay on the field, we saw the difference that he made. He helped his offense out more than just in the run game, but made tremendous plays in the pass game as well and kept the franchise quarterback upright. And speaking of the run game, Austin Eckler obviously wants to get paid more money. He's one of the best do-it-all running backs in the NFL. 915 rushing yards last season, 13 touchdowns rushing last season, and he could do a lot for you in the receiving game as well. He's one of the best receiving backs in football, and he helps put stress on opposing defenses because of what he can do in the receiving game. 722 receiving yards last season. So he can go out there and make a lot of plays for you in more than just the running game. We will see if they want to pay him a long-term contract. That is something that's still being debated as I record this video. And he also had 5 receiving touchdowns as well. So he's going to go out there and be a premier playmaker for you. But this team has too many weapons to go out there and to be blowing leads against teams like the Jacksonville Jaguars. And that's not a slight against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm just saying that if you're up that big, you have to find a way to win that game and pull it out. And a lot of it falls on Brandon Staley. Coach Lombardi was used as a scapegoat, which is right because the offense was terrible. Even when they were fully healthy, the systems just didn't work. It was everything underneath. They couldn't stretch out the field. Most of it because of lack of the wide receiver position, but a lot of it became because of the offensive play calling. You're bringing in a brand new offensive play caller now in Kellen Moore. Those excuses have to stop. If this team cannot make a deep playoff run, it may be time to look for a brand new head coach and get Brandon Staley out of that position. But let me know in the comment section below. Am I overreacting to Brandon Staley being the head coach? Should the Chargers stick with him long term, even if they do find a way to struggle again, because that he did play a central role to making the playoffs last year, even dealing with the injuries? Let me know how you feel about Brandon Staley in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, we want each and every one of you guys to stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.